Welcome back, everybody. Good to see y'all. Hope it's good to see me. Been a while. NFL season. Yeah. The work has been not favorable for the schedule. But another NFL regular season finished, entering the playoffs. Today is Friday, January 14th. So first round of playoffs start tomorrow, continue into Monday for the first ever playoff game Monday night. So that's interesting, I guess. I hate watching games on ESPN, so I guess I could care less about it.
Is that because of who's announcing?
I mean, the Manning broadcast is interesting. I just think ESPN does a shitty job in general of producing the games compared to CBS and Fox and NBC. So nothing crazy bad. We're on a tight schedule today.
Ryan is
letting Ryan in right now as well. It's crazy. We're trying to find the best time. We really want to get an episode out for you guys. Ryan, welcome. Just doing an introduction. Just telling them how our schedule's been crazy and trying to find a time to talk about the playoffs. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Obviously, first overall seed on each side. We got the Titans and the Green Bay Packers. Fuck them. We'll talk about some of the coach firings next week during for the divisional round picks. But we're all going to get picks today. Talk about the games a little bit. Try to keep it brief. Anybody else have any thoughts of the regular season before
you get in?
Give picks.
Zach was so bad.
Oh yeah, I should pull up the units. Oh my god.
So he was so bad this year, and he promised to be better in the playoffs. I don't know. He got better once he started doing more games, but he was so bad. Promised he was going to do better. You forgot to mention I won, so congrats to me.
Congrats.
But it literally came down to Chargers Raiders. That game decided who won this year. So I'm glad the Raiders won for my sake.
Yep.
I'll be enjoying a nice steak dinner.
Michael was the only one to end up positive. I don't know anybody that watched our picks last year for the NFL season when we could do up to 10 units on our do or die. That was a rough season for me. I think I finished like 60 units in the red.
Oh boy.
This year, only 2 in the red.
Yeah.
So great improvement. That's Ryan, you had a much better a better second half, I would say.
Yeah, I was trying to come back.
You definitely could have gotten to like 20, 25 in the red.
If I didn't go, I think I went 0. I think I had an 0 for 2 weeks in a row. After that,
that's tough.
Had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, you're like 0 for 10. So, I mean, that's fucking 10 units right there. That's a lot.
That's impressive, though. It's hard to do.
For the playoffs,
I think that is harder to do than to go 5-0 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so for the playoffs, we're going to start new records for the playoffs. The rule is everyone has to make one pick per game for the entire playoffs. You can do more than one, but you have to do at least one, and it could be spread, over, under, prop, team totals, whatever. Let's try to avoid like minus 200 type shit, but
yes,
we'll try to keep it close to even odds, like somewhere close. So Zach sent us his picks, and we're just going to go through each game one at a time. I think I did my picks on Wednesdays, so hopefully the odds haven't changed too much. They usually don't for playoff games unless there's an injury or now COVID. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's still, we all have the same lines. All right. So first game Saturday, interesting game. We got the Raiders going on the road to Cincinnati. The line's still the same. The Bengals are minus 5.5, and the over under is 48.5. Obviously, like I said, we can do props if we'd rather do props.
Yeah. My pick in this game is Raiders plus 5.5. I think they're rolling. They beat I know the Bengals are rolling. I know Joey B, blah, 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 blah. They're playing well, whatnot. But Raiders last 2 weeks, they beat the Colts and they beat the Chargers, basically played in 2 playoff games already. Like those were 2 must-win games, had to win them to make the playoff. And 5.5. The Bengals can still win. I think this game's just going to be close. I like the Raiders plus 5.5.
Ryan?
I like the Raiders plus 5.5 too. And I also like the over 48.5.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
So you added that today. Trying to get a little head start on everybody.
Yeah, I just think that there's gonna be a lot of points scored. And the Raiders, they've been pesky all year. I mean, you count them out and then here they are in January in the playoffs. And I know they have a new coach and a new quarterback who's looking to be one of the best quarterbacks in probably 2 years or so, maybe even next year. But Bengals can't get it done in the playoffs. And until they do it, I'm not going to count on them.
Yeah, definitely 2 teams that don't have a long track record recently in the playoffs. So pretty interesting game, pretty interesting teams have been playing against each other. I actually also have the Raiders plus 5.5. Lots of storylines this year too. So I kind of wanted to hop on that. Also, Joe Burrow's young. I think a first round exit even would make sense. Kind of similar to what happened with the Chargers. I know they didn't technically make the playoffs, but really good, really young quarterback. They're going to be really good next year, even more.
You hang around Brett too much. He shoves the Chargers up you and you believe everything. But
the run defense got insanely better towards the end of the season. It was really bad for most of the season.
Yeah, but
they can stay healthy.
For sure. But one thing I want to state is the Bengals haven't won a playoff game. So the last time the Bengals won a playoff game, you could not send a text message. Think about that.
Was the internet even around yet?
1992. This wasn't the 70s, but
yeah.
All right.
Did Zach send his picks?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't have to say him. We don't have to say him.
Remember 2016 when the Bengals
Zach is like against the Steelers, they should have won that game easily. But Zach is
30 yards of penalties.
Zach is like the Bengals, where until he wins, we're not saying his picks. He can join the show and say his picks, but until he wins, he has to prove to us that he is gambling harder than ever.
Okay. All right. So Saturday night game, we got a divisional rivalry for wild card playoffs. We got the Patriots going to the Bills. 3rd time they played this year. It's going to be cold as fuck. Bills are favored by 4. Over under 44. This is a very interesting game. A lot of implications outside of the playoffs themselves. Seems like whoever wins this game is gonna carry like a big dick energy into future season after that, at least until they play again in the playoffs, or one of them sweeps each other. What do you guys like here? What are you thinking?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. Road teams won both games in the season series. I like the under. I think the weather is going to make it hard for Josh Allen to do what he wants to do. And the Bills defense is insanely good. So the Patriots are going to struggle to do some things. And then you factor in this weather. I mean, it could be like the last time they played. Who really knows what the weather's going to be like? But it is going to be cold. It is going to be windy. So I like the under, especially anything above 40. This game could end 10-7. So I like the under.
I like the under as well. That's my play. And I'm entertaining the Bills -4. I just think the Bills these teams are trending opposite directions. The Bills are trending up. The Patriots are not. I know Mac Jones had a pretty impressive rookie season, especially for a quarterback that not a lot of people were high on when he was drafted, but I think he was by far the most impressive rookie quarterback this year. But this is playoff football. This isn't the regular season, and teams just play different, especially a team like the Bills, who are built for this.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Not my play, like the under. I'm going to take the Patriots plus the 4. Bill Belichick plays hard, played hard against this team twice. I think the score when they lost to the Bills actually should have been closer. It kind of just got out of hand a little bit.
Yeah.
And the playoffs, Bill Belichick, no one has more experience in the game right now than him as a coach. Like getting 4. But I will be cheering my nuts off for the Bills when I'm watching with Will on Saturday. So now my pick is Patriots +4. All right, first game on Sunday. Eagles going to the Buccaneers. I mean, the Eagles haven't beaten a good team all year.
Yeah, but they're able to sneak in.
I know.
I don't think they've beaten a team with a winning record. The only
They
team
might
with
not.
a winning record is the Saints.
They,
Oh,
they
sorry.
might-
So the line is 8.5 and the over under
Yeah.
45.5.
Yeah, I don't know. The Eagles are seem like one of those teams where no matter what the line is, if it's above 7, they're gonna try to get into that number because they could be down 21 and they onside kick, somehow get it. Jalen Hurts throws it deep and they cover, but it was a 21-point game in the fourth quarter. I like the over in this game, especially for that fact too. I think Tom Brady might score 35 points, and then like I said, you can expect at least one bullshit touchdown out of the Eagles. So then you're just hoping for one touchdown throughout the rest of the game. It's in Tampa, so they're gonna get good weather, but I like the over.
I have Bucks -8.5. This is probably the line that I'm least comfortable with on the entire weekend.
8.5 a lot. Can be a lot.
Just because, we saw last year, the Bucks were peaking at the right time in the playoffs, but then Washington gave them a game. And I think Washington covered, and Washington really had no business making that a game. But so yeah, I think it'll be close. It could be a touchdown game to maybe 10 points.
I also have the over the 45.5. I'm thinking maybe not as high as 35, like Michael said. Eagles just got exposed big time. So I think it might help them kind of tweak some of the bad parts. Obviously, I still think they're going to give up maybe at least 27 points at the very minimum to the Bucks. That's the only reason I'm taking the over instead of the Bucks minus the 8.5. I think both are the right plays though, Bucks or the over. Next game, middle game on Sunday, 49ers, probably the most talked about game for the wild card round. We got the 49ers, red hot comeback against the Rams to end their season, make the playoffs over the Saints, going to the Cowboys laying 3 points, -3, over under 51.
Yeah, like you said, the Niners on a red hot comeback, but they also have gotten healthy at the right time, which has helped them be able to win games. They've finished strong. That was their problem the past 2 years. They haven't been able to stay healthy. I think Jimmy G's got some confidence with those 2 drives that he was able to manage. Shanahan's just a genius when he gets on a roll. And Deebo Samuel, Deebo Samuel, all those guys are just studs, and their offense is so hard to defend. I love the Niners in this game. I just don't think everyone celebrated the Cowboys after beating the Washington football team. Why are we celebrating that? But I like the Niners money line. I like the Niners +3.
Yeah, Niners +3 is my play, and I was entertaining money line as well. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers end up representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't be that shocked.
I agree.
I would love
good
that.
running game and a good defense.
that.
That's how you
I would love a Jim Harbaugh-less 49ers team to win a Super Bowl. I would love that. My play, I think the 49ers are going to shut down this run game out the gate, and the Cowboys aren't really going to get a nice flow on offense. So I'm gonna take the under. Cowboys could have a crazy spurt in the second half, fourth quarter. But under 51 feels very good for a 49ers defense that's playing very well going into the playoffs. Rolling right along. Big game on Sunday, unless anybody else had
the Cowboys are like the Bengals. They're till they do it, you can't really.
Yeah, but like I said though, the Niners, let's remember they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They had the most injuries in football last year, and they just kind of threw that season away. This year they started the season with a shit ton of injuries. they finally been able to be healthy. And 2 years ago, we were talking about like how good could this team be moving forward with how many studs they have on defense. And it's like they finally got healthy. They're finally playing well. They, like Ryan said, they could easily represent the NFC, and I wouldn't be shocked by any means because this is the same team that was in the Super Bowl. Shanahan's finally got his team back, so it's like this team can go on a run. They had to beat the Rams, who, that was a tough game. Rams were fighting for the 2 seed. They wanted the 2 seed, and were able to win. Sometimes wins like that, jolt teams up. And I think they're playing the perfect. Like if they were playing the Buccaneers or the Rams again, it'd be way tougher in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys, who I don't know, they've looked good in some games. They've laid eggs in other games, and it's like, would you be shocked if they laid an egg? No, not at all. Would I be shocked if the Cowboys came out and somehow scored 40 points? A little bit, but not so much either. But this is like the perfect matchup for them. I got to run, so I'm going to give you my last 2 plays. I like the Steelers plus 12.5, just because it's so many points. I just think that maybe they could score a bullshit touchdown to cover. And they got blown out the first time, which I think helps. If it was a close time the first time, I think they might have get blown out. Now, it's Big Ben's last ride. They're going to try to score a late bullshit touchdown. Kansas City's going to move on, though. Yes, exactly. They're going to have fun. And then my last play, I like the Rams minus 3.5. I just think the Cardinals are trending very downwards, and like Kyler kind of sucks right now. And he gets hit a lot, which like at any point, and they're playing the Rams. Their defensive line is insanely good. Kyler tries to run around, but the Rams have guys who can essentially kind of keep up with him. So I like the Rams minus 3.5. I think Stafford's going to play well. McVay is going to pull out all the tricks to win this game. So I like the Rams. Hopefully someone can beat me. I won college and the NFL. So hopefully someone else can win the playoffs. But we'll be back next week. You guys finish this up. But like I said, I'll be back next week. We'll go into the head coaching carousel and whatnot.
Real quick, who do you think plays in the Super Bowl right now?
Oh, yeah. Super Bowl prediction. If I had to go right now, I just feel like as much hate as he's gotten this year, he's a petty kind of man. I think the Packers go to the Super Bowl because this seems like the year that Aaron Rodgers would rather say fuck you to all these haters. More so that, and then I think out of the AFC, I don't know. I would probably say the Chiefs. Chiefs are starting to click, and like let's not forget they did win the AFC last year. They won the Super Bowl the year before. Everyone freaked out when they didn't start well, but they're starting to play like that team. So I like the Chiefs versus the Packers, which is kind of a chalk pick, but I just think this is Rodgers' year to go. I think he loves proving people wrong that hate him, and this is like the perfect year to do that. But yeah, like I said, I'll be back next week. You guys finish this up to the last 2 games, but those are my Super Bowl picks.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Get you in next week.
See
All right, bro.
Go Steelers.
Peace. Go Steelers.
All right, Ryan. Wow.
We're on Sunday night now.
One more Sunday night. Michael kind of ripped off some fire takes. We didn't really have any time to break. I mean, nothing crazy hot, but
Right.
had some takes. My Sunday pick, I'm actually not going with a spread or the over/under. I'm taking a player prop, and I'm going to go. This player didn't play in the last week of the regular season against the Denver Broncos. I'm going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
The line moved a little bit. It was minus 105 when I did on Wednesday, and now it's minus 110. Who cares? That's good for me. That means they think he's more likely. Anyway, so I'm just changing the line. The Chiefs were able to turn around their season because they started running the ball and started checking down to receivers and running backs, short passes a lot more. It's got to be part of their game plan. I know they're playing the Steelers. And if they are blowing the Steelers out, they might get a couple, 1 or 2 cheap rushing touchdowns, just like kind of driving it into the Steelers, rushing it down the field. And pass interferences are fucking crazy in the NFL. It's always nice having a running back for a prop like this when you think there's going to be a lot of points. The refs can't keep the flag out of their pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the Steelers are getting disrespected. I know that they're
100%. Double-digit line in a playoff game is super disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they'll keep it within 12 points. So I think plus 12.5 is my play. I think the Steelers will probably play their best game yet. Because I think, and who knows? I mean, the Steelers have the defensive player of the year coming off the edge. She can wreck the game. I mean, who knows what a strip fumble can do or a sack fumble can do? That could swing the game into a win for the Chiefs to a loss. I don't know, but I just think with, like Michael said, Big Ben's potential last game, I think they'll come out ready to play and potentially keep it close.
Yeah, the only bad thing, like from like a lot of betting and like a lot of stuff is like vibe based, like stories. It feels like Big Ben's had a lot of like, oh, last dance kind of moments already. That's the only bad part I feel for them. But also, I agree, nothing to lose mentality is very strong on the football field. We'll see how it goes. That's kind of why I avoided the line. I really have no idea what's going to happen, like with the game. I just like Clyde Edwards-Helaire to find the end zone.
Yeah.
So we got one more game, wild card week, super week. I don't know when the fuck they started calling wild card week this wild card super week. Fuck that. I'm calling it wild card week. Got the Cardinals going to the Rams. Cardinals kind of blew away the division, losing home field advantage, and now had to play a team who they've played twice already this season, similar to the Bills and the Patriots. These teams split, I believe. The Rams won the first, and these teams.
The Cardinals beat them pretty good in the first time.
Oh, I'm thinking of the 49ers. The 49ers played the Rams in the last week of the game.
Yeah.
I don't remember the second matchup then. Anyway, fuck that. We got 3.5. Rams are favored. As we heard Michael said, his pick is Rams minus 3.5.
I have Rams minus 4. Do I get 3.5 or 4?
Which team were you wanting?
I was with the Rams.
Oh, you can have 3.5 because Michael, it's fine. Well, I usually just use whatever FanDuel says.
Yeah. As far as the game goes, I think I agree with Michael. We've agreed a lot on this episode, but I just don't like the way Arizona's playing. I don't think they're a play. I don't like them in a playoff atmosphere. I feel that way about a lot of warm weather teams. I just always I know LA's the same way, but they're a warm weather team too. But I think the Rams have the Cardinals trumped on head coach, quarterback play right now, defense. I just think that the scale is tipping to the Rams side in a lot of ways, and that doesn't even bring in the home field advantage. So until, like I said about the Cowboys and the Bengals, until the Cardinals can do it, I can't really put much faith into them.
Yeah. I mean, Arizona isn't crazy far from LA. So I do think the Cardinals fans will show up. It'll probably be like 40-60, maybe not even that high, maybe like 35-65 for fans. I had the Cardinals plus the 3.5. Matt Stafford's been turning the ball over a ton the past 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I think he has like
so hot and cold.
I think he has like 7 or 8 turnovers in his last like 4 or 5 games, which it doesn't sound like a crazy amount for like an average quarterback, but like this is the playoffs and Arizona's got a pretty solid defense. They haven't been quite as consistent this year as their roster shows. I know they have a couple injuries. It'll be interesting to see with like JJ Watt. I don't really know if JJ Watt is gonna find his way.
I'm not sure either.
I don't think he's gonna play this weekend, obviously, or else the news would be blowing up. But we'll have to see. I think this is another really tough game. I think this and the Steelers game, like from a spread standpoint, are really difficult. But it's always hard. Like if you're gonna bet this, just know this is this is where a lot of money starts being bet across the board, in person and like on all these apps. These lines are going to be super sharp. So just be careful. I mean, a lot of these games are probably going to end very close to these lines. It's not going to be like a normal Sunday where, like a Jaguars team that's getting 16 points wins outright by 20 points against the Colts.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to see anything like that, and unless the Steelers somehow win. That's about the only way that happens.
I don't know.
Real quick, who are your Super Bowl? What is your Super Bowl matchup right now?
This is tough. I hate picking the 1 seeds because I feel like that's like picking a.
It can change next week too if like one of them goes, if like your non-1 seed goes down, obviously.
Yeah, I'm really liking the Bills right now. I feel like the NFL season is a marathon, not a sprint, and I feel like they're kind of hitting their stride at the right time. And I want to pick the Niners, but winning 3 games on the road, because I mean they'd have a gauntlet of a schedule. They'd be going to Dallas, to Green Bay next week if they beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then they'd probably be playing the Bucks in the NFC Championship.
Probably.
I'm gonna go Packers Bills.
Okay. Michael had
Packers
Chiefs. I also agree with the Bills. They were really hot at the beginning of the season, took a little bit of a fall, and then finished the season super strong last 3 or 4 games. Again, we know that we've seen it every year to win the Super Bowl, maybe with the exception of the Chiefs in 2019. You need a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense. Most of the Patriots teams had it easily. The Bucks last year easily had it. Maybe the Eagles didn't necessarily have a top 10 offense, but very close, easily a top 5 defense. O-line was really good if you're counting that into the ranking for the offense. The Bills have that. I think the Bills have a top 5 or 6 offense and defense. I think their offense and defense are both at least in the top 7 on both sides. So I love the Bills, especially playing the Patriots. Beating your division rival is going to be a great boost for them going into the divisional round. And then they'll play. They'll probably play the Chiefs unless there's. Yeah, they'll play the Chiefs in the second round. And I think that's a great matchup. It already the rematch from the regular season. Never mind. Yeah, they beat the Chiefs this year, right? The Bills beat the Chiefs.
They destroyed the Chiefs, but that's when the Chiefs defense was playing really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And people were kind of looking at the Chiefs like, what's going on? But then shortly after that, the Chiefs kind of went on a run. And
I think it was at Arrowhead too.
Yes, they were. I think they'd be at Arrowhead again.
Yeah, it'll be at Arrowhead because they're the 2 seed and the Bills are 3. So I'll talk about my NFC team. I think will play in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say the Bucks, man. I'm gonna stick with Tom Brady. But I do think the 49ers, it really helps the Bucks if the 49ers beat Green Bay in Lambeau. That'd be a huge help. If it's Green Bay and if it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, which if the NFL is kind of rigged, that really should be the NFC championship matchup right there is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. So I think, anybody that thinks the NFL is rigged, if that is actually a thing, which who knows, that should definitely be the NFC championship matchup. But I hope the 49ers beat the Packers in the divisional round.
Yeah, the only thing that gives me pause about the Bucks is they're so banged up at wide receiver.
They're
out Chris Godwin. They lost Antonio Brown.
Mike Evans is back.
Yes, I just don't know if Mike Evans can do it himself.
I think they're going to switch to a two tight end system too, with Rob Gronkowski and
Cameron Brate.
Cameron Brate. Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
So they're going to have to. I mean, that's really the only choice they have. And then Scotty Miller and Mike Evans is.
yeah, that just doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. And then their secondary is
Yes, I agree.
suspect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's Tom Brady. I'm not saying they got.
I get why you're doing it. It's hard to bet against Tom Brady.
I also like, I no disrespect to the Green Bay picks. I don't think the Green Bay defense is. It's like right at the tip of like a top 10 defense, like for what we were talking about earlier. A lot of people were giving Green Bay's defense a lot of credit through the season, but they had some good games. But
I think the reason that I picked Green Bay is they're going to have a true home field advantage.
yeah, that is huge. That is huge.
And I could think of a lot of places I'd rather play in January than Green Bay, Wisconsin.
That's why I'm really hoping that the 49ers beat them in the divisional round.
And that they're a team that can, because they run the ball.
If it's Tom Brady, though, he played in New England for a decade and a half.
Yeah.
He's used to the cold weather.
No.
But it's also
Tom Brady would not be the one I'd be worried about.
It'd be the rest. I know it'd be the rest of the guys, but Tom Brady's the guy I'm putting all my eggs in the basket for.
Yeah.
But all right. Sounds like we got a pretty good picture. Also, my other point was going to be the Bills would get to rematch the fucking Bucks, and that game was nuts. Like 5
that was a good game
ago. The Bills were down like 20 or 21 at half, came all the way back for us overtime, and then they got fucked by the refs twice. Once at the end of regulation, Stephon Diggs, front left corner of the end zone, pass interference, and then they called pass interference on. I don't think it was Hyde, or I can't remember who the D-back was. It was the guy that plays right side corner for them, but I can't remember. The Mike Evans freaking bear hugged him, and the Bills guy got called, and then obviously we know that Bucks won. So right now, I know we were just saying our matchup, but I think the Bills are going to beat the Bucks in the Super Bowl.
That's a pretty good pick.
I think it's fun too. I probably shouldn't have given that away because I'm actually doing a pick 'em with some friends that I have not submitted my picks for. So hopefully they don't watch this before. But if you guys watch this, leave a comment about who you think is going to win, who you think is going to play in the Super Bowl. If you haven't already subscribed, we're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. Follow our socials, not just Victor Lap. Ryan and Katie are doing a great job over on Irish Insight, going crazy. Give them a follow, especially Notre Dame fan. A lot of our watchers are from around here. So thanks again, Ryan. Any last thoughts?
No, I'm just excited to get it going. It's the only downside is that football's almost over, but I'm glad.
Yeah, but this is like the best week of
this is like March Madness for football.
I think like the last regular season week and the first week of the NFL season are like the 3 best weeks, and then like the Super Bowl too, obviously.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Sounds good. All right. Good luck, everybody. If you're playing, betting, whatever, good luck. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Peace.